Fake spiritual leaders see our vulnerability as something they will not heal. It was then I chose to sharpen my rationality. This mystical figure claims to have found enlightenment and advocate for preservation. Seated on a leather seat, and even just 1% believe they are fine sleeping just 4 hours, they would have carried a Louis Vuitton jhola and maybe wear a Gucci embedded skull. अधिप्रकल्प वीरभद्र सिंहनाद गर्जिता श्रुति प्रभीत दक्ष यज्ञ भागिनाग सद्मना गति प्रधाय गर्जिता किला प्रपंच साक्षिने सदा नमः शिवाय ते सदा शिवाय शंभवे. Forever salutations to the peaceful one who blesses us with prosperity and who is ever peaceful, who gave protection to those who attended the yajna of Daksh when they started trembling before efficient Veerbhadra with his lion-like roar, and who was the witness to the billions of the universe who heard the roar. Could your path to enlightenment actually be a journey into deception? Today, we're uncovering a shocking truth about a self-proclaimed God-man who has been capitalizing on the quest for enlightenment. Before we dive into this mysterious figure we're discussing today, I want to share a crucial turning point in my own spiritual journey after the birth of my son, who's now 8 years old. My fascination with Shaivism, the worship and reverence of Lord Shiva, has been the cornerstone of my personal and spiritual development. As my devotion to Lord Shiva grew tenfold day by day, it's this deepening connection that ironically led me to this individual who is at the heart of the discussion today. However, as my spiritual quest deepened, so did my thirst for knowledge. I delved into the rich tapestry of ancient Vedic texts, poring over the Vedas, immersing myself in the profound stories of the Shiva Puranas, and seeking wisdom in other holy literature. And this journey of enlightenment was not just about devotion. It was an education, a reawakening to the timeless teachings that have guided countless souls before me. It was against this backdrop of sacred learning that a disturbing truth emerged. The very pedestal I'd placed this individual on began to crumble. I realized with clarity that was both heart-wrenching and liberating that the teachings and philosophies peddled by this supposed guide were nothing more than gibberish.
It doesn't matter what you say, what you think, what you do. What I say will happen when it comes to life, fundamental life. So I am an authoritarian because I don't listen to anybody. With simple things of life, even if a child speaks, I will listen with great respect. But when it comes to certain aspects of life, it doesn't matter who. If God comes, I will not listen to him because I know better than him.
Far from profound truths of Shaivism, his words were concoction designed to mislead, ensnare, and exploit the unwary, all in pursuit of materialistic gains. Now, this revelation was not just a moment of disillusionment. It was a call to action. It underscored the importance of discernment on the spiritual path that needs to question, to seek, and to verify. It reminded me that true wisdom is not served on a platter by charismatic figures, but is a treasure unearthed through genuine pursuit and understanding of sacred teachings. With this newfound perspective, let's peel back the layers of charisma and charm to expose the mechanisms of deception employed by this fake God-man. Let us explore together not just the consequences of his deceit, but also the resilience of genuine faith and spiritual integrity in the face of exploitation. When we try searching for meaning, we become vulnerable. Sometimes when we hope for enlightenment, we open doors to the wrong guides. Fake spiritual leaders see our vulnerability as something they will not heal, but they will indeed see it as a weakness to exploit. They'll promise you guidance, but end up feeding off your trust for their materialistic gains. True enlightenment comes from within, not from those who claim to have all the answers by exploiting what we are trying to resolve. Let's talk about this figure. I won't name him. I want you to guess who he is. Yes, I'll surely drop a sensitive hint. It's worth mentioning that this figure I'm talking about is currently facing health challenges. He's just gone through a brain surgery. It's a humbling reminder of our shared human fragility. Let's extend our deepest wishes for his swift and complete recovery. May Mahadev bless him, heal him, and forgive him for what he is doing, knowingly, unknowingly. However, it's crucial to address the impact of the ideologies he ended up preaching, advocating minimal sleep, claiming that just 4 hours sleep is enough if the quality is right.
You see, very effortlessly, within 3 to 4 weeks, you can drop your sleep quota anywhere between 2 to 3 hours. And I'm sleeping, averaging somewhere around 4.5 hours now.
This is weird. Sleep needs to vary. However, suggesting such things could lead to serious health consequences. Consider this influence over millions of eager followers. If even a small percentage adopt this perilous practice, the ramification could be dire. Sleep is not just rest, it's essential for brain health, something not to be compromised. As a health professional, the promotion of such dangerous habits, especially from a place of authority, is deeply troubling. It's a call to action for all of us to advocate for safe, science-backed health practices. Let's protect ourselves and our communities from such misinformation. In my heart, I've always harbored a profound devotion to Lord Shiva as my boy grew older, the destroyer and rejuvenator, the Lord of meditation and the master of the Himalayas. Now, this journey of devotion led me to a being. Now, this being we're speaking about claimed a deep, unparalleled connection to Shiva himself. Wrapped in the cloak of a Shiv Bhakt, he beckoned to me, and like many, I followed. His oratory skills, wisdom, it seemed enlightening, an echo of the divine. I was captivated, believing that I had found a guide who could walk me through the realms of spiritual enlightenment. But as my quest for understanding deepened, so did my doubts. Turning to the Shiva Puranas, other sacred texts, I sought to know Shiva, not through the words spoken, but through the ancient holy scriptures themselves. What I found there and what I'd been fed were worlds apart. His teaching, once profound, now seemed gibberish, distractions from the true essence of Shiva Tattva. In his books, the narrative was fixed. He claimed reincarnations across millennia, all to establish the Dhyanalinga, a 15,000-year-old project he said would culminate with his attainment to Mahasamadhi, leaving his physical form behind. But here we are, beyond his prophecy, and he walks amongst us unliberated. It sounded more like a tale spun for ages, an exaggeration too grand to digest. That was my awakening. It was then I chose to sharpen my rationality to question rather than follow blindly. Peeling back the layers of his life, beyond the metaphysical claims, focusing on the tangible, the factual, what I found was alarming. The discrepancies, the contradictions, it wasn't just about faith anymore, but discernment, about seeing the truth beyond the facade. Let me narrate you a tale of a mysterious, mystical figure. Now, this tale is not of divine revelation, but of a mere mortal ambition cloaked in spirituality. This mystical figure claims to have found enlightenment on a secluded hill in 1981. However, his past reveals that in 1974, it was under the tutelage of Swami Rishi Prabhakarji that he learned Siddha Samadhi Yoga Vidhi. A mentor he now shadows with silence, giving no credit, no mention. Was it enlightenment, or did he find a blueprint for exploitation? He has built an empire upon the ruins of a forest, an elephant corridor torn completely, animals displaced, lives lost, a testament to human greed. Yet amidst countless legal battles, he remains untouched because he has political affiliations. And when he is confronted by the purity of a teenager's curiosity,
The infrastructure of the Isha Foundation has been built on elephant corridors. The National Green Tribunal as well as the High Courts have admitted to without the requisite permissions. We tell you this goes against rule of law, which you stand for. This goes against living in harmony with species, both of which you've spoken right here at Nalsar. So if you could clarify regarding.
There are some activists who are going on publishing this endlessly. You're reading that social media is trash and you're coming to conclusions. Anyway, I want you to know, today if I want, by tomorrow evening, I can file 100 cases against you. All kinds of things. It's for you to come out of it in the next 20 years. This is the country you're living in. I want you to know.
What does this humble mystic do? His arrogance is unveiled right there, threatening a child with decades of legal torment. Is this enlightenment or tyranny masked as divinity? In his quest to echo through the digital expanse, he drowns the wisdom of ancient under his narcissistic self-glorification. A mystic? No. A player on the stage of materialistic self-interest, wielding not the scepter of spiritual insight, but the gavel of egoism. His words, a mere shadow of another, echoes of Osho, yet stripped of sincerity, morphed into a vessel for personal gain. The ancient texts, timeless in their wisdom, stand in stark contrast to his discourse, a mirror reflecting not enlightenment, but the emptiness of his teaching. In the end, what are we left with? A legacy not of spiritual liberation, but of a path paved with deceit, exploitation, and the hollow ring of falsehood. As seekers of truth, it is our duty to question, to seek beyond the veneer of enlightenment sold to us at a price. Let us not be swayed by the loudness of digital proclamation, but instead tune our ears to the silent whispers of genuine wisdom. For in the quietude of our hearts lies the true path of enlightenment, unmarred by the greed of false prophets. You see, true spirituality, the very core of our quest for meaning, doesn't flaunt its presence through opulence, nor does it parade itself in the guise of a self-proclaimed God-man, a God-man who preaches the sanctity of nature while leaving trails of carbon footprints as deep as the wounds he inflicts upon the environment. Picture this, an advocate for preservation, seated on a leather seat, a living contradiction to the principles he proclaims to uphold. Now imagine throngs of sincere seekers, each shelling out a small fortune, congregating on Mahashivratri, drawn by the promise of spiritual awakening. It sounds profound, doesn't it? Yet I can't help but ponder, wouldn't the essence of Mahashivratri, the night dedicated to Lord Shiva, be more genuinely honored in quiet meditation, in seeking union with the divine, rather than in grandiose entertainment-laden spectacles? Somewhere amidst these grand celebrations, the essence of spirituality is commodified, sold to the highest bidder under the guise of enlightenment. And the orchestrator, a Baba who, emboldened by arrogance and the unquestioning devotion of his followers, has turned sacred teachings into a lucrative enterprise, demanding exorbitant sums for the privilege to walk by his side, to bask in his supposed proximity to divinity, all the while exploiting the sanctity of donations to amass wealth tax-free. I share these thoughts not out of disdain, but out of a deep-seated concern for what spirituality has been misconstrued as. I urge you to peel away the layers of glamour, to question, to seek not just the path laid before you, but the integrity of the ones who lays it. For in the realm of true spirituality, enlightenment is not for sale. It is a journey inward, devoid of price tags and pedestals, grounded in authenticity and humility. So why does it bother me so much? Well, as a health professional, I came across this guru claiming that sleep quantity doesn't matter, only the quality does. Think about it. If he has over 30 million followers and even just 1% believe they are fine sleeping just 4 hours, they are risking their health. Over time, too little sleep can cause serious brain issues that could lead to swelling, even death. Now, this rich guru can afford top-notch doctors. But what about the average person? I won't say this guy's name because I know he might try to remove this content as has done that before. It shows he fears the truth damaging his reputation. How can someone who follows Shaivism, which teaches minimalism and adding value to others' lives, be so protective of his image? I'm not here for likes, neither I'm here for subscribers. My goal is awareness. I hope this message finds those who need it most. Just as Kal Bhairava, he cut off Brahma's fifth head to curb his ego. I wish for this guru's arrogance to be shattered. He should spread real wisdom, not nonsense to boost his ego. Talking about real Shaivism, Nivan, how often do we do Abhishekam at home?
So, Shaivism, how we should do the Abhishekam in Shaivism? You should put a 1 drop on the Shivalinga.
Daily?
Yes.
Okay, very
In
good.
the morning.
So this is purely unedited, raw, uncut, because I just want y'all to see what a pure, innocent mind speaks. Because we talk about Lord Shiva, and who is Lord Shiva to us, baby? How do you see Lord Shiva
as our
a
Bholenath.
friend, a father, a brother, or everything. So on Mondays, how do we do the Abhishekam?
With the Panchamurta.
And how do you make the Panchamrita?
Water, milk, dahi, ghee, honey.
Okay. Do you keep any leaf or anything
Yes.
on Shivling? Which leaf do we keep?
Bel Patra, which is Shivji's eyes.
So Nivan, how many total Jyotirlingas are there?
12.
How many did we go together as father and son alone?
4.
Which one we went first?
Mahakal, Omkareshwar, Trambakeshwar, and Krishneshwar.
And where are we heading next?
Bhimashankar, Nageshwar,
And?
Somnath, Mallikarjunam, Baidyanath, Rameshwaram, and Kedarnath.
Quite a few. So, quite frankly, I don't want to show off, the quality of my child and how he is driven by his love to Lord Shiva. The whole idea of recording him on this camera was to show his innocent mind to y'all and make y'all aware about what are the real places where you can actually seek a bit of spirituality, wisdom, and God's grace. Well, somewhere these Babas are blocking that path and selling fake spirituality, and Shiv Bhagwan, who is a true manifestation of selflessness and minimalism, who stays like a Bairagi on Kailash but grants wishes to people irrespective of Manav, Danav, Daitya, Danav. Well, the essence of Shaivism is messed up, because what happens here is we start believing in these Babas who drive their high-end cars, ride their high-end motorbikes, who end up, endorsing Shaivism as vanity. Because had it been vanity, trust me, every Aghori and every Aghora out there would have not been sitting in Shmashanas. They would have carried a Louis Vuitton jhola and maybe wear a Gucci embedded skull around them and promote Aghori science in the most materialistic manner possible. Well, that's all I can say. This was some deep thoughts that I had. I wanted to create a content on this since 4 years because it has been disturbing and not good the way things are trending. I hope it changes for the better. People get really enlightened and aware about what is real, what is not. And may Lord Shiva show you the way. Har Har Mahadev. Jai Shiv Shankar. Jai Bholenath. Jai Shri Mahakal.
And if you want to see the next part, we will do the next part on Monday, which is our tour of our Mahadev temple.
Okay, so he's going to talk about the shrine. If you can see, there's a Trishul behind. So he wanted me to create a video on how we do the Abhishekam. Let me know if you'd like to see, because I will share how we worship our Mahadev in our house on Mondays with power, with grace, while adding value, maximum value to people's life. Thank you very much for watching this video if you've been here and watched it till here.